Hello, hello, hello. To those of you who may be watching this at different parts of the day, good morning, good evening, and if I don't see you, good night. So, Plants vs. Zombies. This was a well-loved game by me on the mobile app. So, when I found out that they actually converted it over to a console, I was beside myself. I was like, holy jeez. All right. So, so I got this as soon as possible, which is not saying much since we're like 2 gens into like PS5 and I'm still playing on PS3. But it is a well-loved game. It's pretty popular. It has its following. And I love this game. I play it so often, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So you can expect more videos coming in the future. Right now, I am talking beyond the beyond, because you can't see me, but I'm still here, so have no fear. And I'm non-stop rhyming, and it's a criming. But I always go to my Zen garden because it basically is a good way to get some good money. So we're going to do this for a little bit. And while I'm doing it, I can talk to you about certain things that are going on in the game. Now, this is one of... I'm not sure how many mobile games have been converted of this format into console gaming systems. So I know another one that I had my eye on, but I have to wait until I can get a PS4, is the Hungry Shark Evolution games. I love that game. That is probably one of my second favorite pastime games for the mobile app, or mobile format games. Besides from the legendary Candy Crush and other stuff like that nature. But yeah, so it's like when I found that out, I was like, okay, so when you see me playing the Hungry Evolution franchise, which I think they got quite a few, they have a dragon one too, which is actually pretty fun. But I have not seen anything in terms of consoles for that one. So far, all they really have is the Hungry Shark Evolution games. But yeah, so you can expect those when I get my PS4. And I don't really know which is going to be my next console that I get. I am a person that likes to go in order, and I have no problem slowly going back up the ladder to get caught up, because by the time I'm going to be behind. Okay, so it's like I've already started behind, so the chances of me getting caught up are very, very scarce. So what I mean by that is, and forgive me if I'm scattered in my thoughts because I am trying to water all my plants accordingly while telling you all this. Had to have a sip of my tea. Look at that, I'm in the Zen garden and I'm drinking tea. Positive vibes all around. But yeah, so like some of the, just to give you guys like a little bit of an update about what to expect for the future in terms of like the gaming content, because it seems to be like one of my favorite things to be doing right now is the gaming content. I am eventually going to start getting some some Nintendo games out there, but I just don't have the hardware right now and the hookup to be able to do that currently. Because every system that you hook up, if you're using consoles, I know it could be easier if you just use like emulators or somehow have like a different hookup that just goes offline, and I think that's like an easier way of doing it. But for me, I'm an old school person. I do want the consoles, and I do want the old school hookup. For me, that is just easier to understand because I am, like I keep saying, I am kind of retro, but for me, it's easier to deal with the consoles. So, yeah, some of the things that I do want to get, because right now, I had a PlayStation 2 to go down memory lane, and I even had a PS1, but I actually had two PS1s, and I had to sell both of those. Actually, I gave one away as a favor to a friend, and then I sold the other one. So I now have to get those back because I do like the retro gaming. But the good thing about the PS3 is that you can still buy things off of PSN network. So I might actually be able to find a lot of the PlayStation 1 gen games on like a digital format. So that might be one way of doing it. I don't know about PS2 games. They should have it on there. And the funny thing is I actually do have a like when it was first debuted, the original, I think we call it like the fat version of the PlayStation 3. And yeah, so like the very moment that this console came out, I didn't buy it in the very release of its popularity, but I did get it pretty close to that time, and I still have it. Nothing has, I'm gonna knock on some wood. I know you couldn't probably hear that, but I knocked on it because so many people's PS3s have gone through some horrible situations, and I am so lucky to still have mine, and I take good care of it. So yeah, so getting PS1 and PS2 games I could actually just find digitally through the PSN network. But yeah, getting like a Wii U, I don't know if there's too many differences between the Wii and the Wii U, to be honest. I bet you about a bunch of people are going to say it's probably just like an HD'd version. Maybe it's like the games, because I think one thing that I was going to say that I forgot to mention was since I do have the close to debut of PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 3 was supposed to be backwards compatible to the point where you could, if you had your PlayStation 2 games, I'm not sure about the PlayStation 1s, but if you had your PlayStation 2 games, you could still play them on the PS3. And that was a big marketing point for the PlayStation 3 when it first came out. And I'm not sure if the Wii U had the same ability to be able to play Wii games the same way that the PS3 was able to play PS2 games. Unfortunately, my PS3, for some reason, I think, just because there were some that got rid of that feature, and I think I just got one of the versions that was still like the thick, fat versions that got rid of that capability because for some reason I could never play any PlayStation 2 games on my PS3. But yeah, so getting the Wii U, on the road to getting the Switch. I am going to get a PS4. I'm not sure, and this is something that I'm debating, is should I even get a PS4? Because I feel like a lot of the games that are digitally available for the PS5, you can still get all the games that are for the PS4 on the PS5. So maybe I can just, save myself some money and just get a PS5 and then backwards play all the PS4 and all that kind of stuff on it. I'm not sure if anybody knows how far back the PlayStation Network goes back, because I know for the Wii, when you were able to get internet capabilities from the Wii, it was allowing you to basically play any Nintendo game from any generation. Like, they had the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on there, and just about any other kind of game that was ever in the Nintendo franchise. So I don't know if that's the same thing with PSN right now, but I don't know. If anybody knows, just let me know. So, okay, I think we've spent enough time here. I can never remember if this is actually beneficial to get your snail here, because the snail is supposed to collect money for you while you're away, and I'm not really sure if that even works, to be honest, but I'm gonna leave. Otherwise, I'm just gonna spend the whole video chatting up about my about my consoles and my hardware and all that stuff, and not giving you any gameplay. So I've been doing survival, and I have beaten all 10 segments. There are 11, but I have beaten all 10 segments of the survival. So I have been trying, because I've been trying to build up to buy everything that I need to buy from the shop, and I'm just going to go into it. I'm going to say new game. Well, let me see. I don't know. I got a pretty good setup. You know, just for your sake, I'm gonna start a new game, and I don't mind doing that. So, what my main goal is, I'm gonna go to the shop. I want to get that 10 slot purchase, and that's 80,000. So right now I'm at 63,000 and some change, and so that is a goal that I want to get up to. But there's also still, I mean, I could get this now. I never really used it. I mean, eventually, because like I said, I've played this game so much when it was on the mobile app that, yeah, I did have just about everything that could be bought. Obviously, with this being the console version, there's a lot more things that you can get. So I got everything for the Zen Gardens. The only thing that I really buy now is the Tree of Knowledge food every now and then, and it gives you basically, like, I don't know, cheats, kind of. I don't even know if this is a very popular game to the point where there are people playing online. I haven't seen very many videos of people playing this game. I've seen a few, but I've definitely not seen any co-op, and I have not seen any versus, which is something that you can do with the console. But yeah, so one of the things that I'm saving up for is the 80 grand, and I only mention that because when you beat all 10 survival levels, it gives you the endless level, which basically sounds like what it is. You build up a setup, and you can constantly be tweaking it throughout the whole course of your survival. Pardon me. And what my goal is I want to try to see if it's possible to get a setup going that I can plant the, what are they called? The marigolds, which give you silver and gold coins, and basically just get me to that 80 grand spot sooner. And then after that, I'll probably just play the game casually. From that point on. Sorry, I was drinking more of my tea. But yeah, so that is the goal, and I've been trying to do it, but see, what gets difficult is the endless field that they put you in is in the backyard. And the backyard is difficult because you have to deal with the water, or the pool, I should say. And it uses up resources that you have to get And one of the things that you'll see is, so let me just start out, because this is an endless thing. So basically I'm just going to do what I did before, just so I can play while I'm talking and see how we can do. So for me, I always use the corn, because the corn has a slowing ability. It throws the kernels, which I feel like don't do too much, but the benefit of the corns is they throw butter, and the butter actually temporarily stuns the zombies where they don't move, and then you can get some additional shots off on them. The other thing that I am going to be using is the cattails, and the cattails are basically probably the most OP out of all of the plants, just because they shoot all over the field. They'll shoot zombies that come up from behind. They shoot the ones that are up in the air in the balloons, and they just go after anybody and everybody. So I don't know what my initial plan is going forward, but yeah, let me continue with what I'm trying to get. Let's see. Now, I maybe will get these guys in on it, and then I'll use the torchwood, which I'll show you what that does. The tall nut, which is a amped up version of the walnut, which is like a little bit of like a blockade that you can make to protect you from and delay the zombies. And then I'm going to use the spike weed. And that should be good for now. Okay, so thinking out loud and playing at the same time. I always start out, I believe it's like you can probably get like 2 sunflowers before the zombies start coming. Yeah, so now what I could do, if it wasn't on a different one, I don't know why I always start with this one, but yeah, I'm just going to plant this guy. Sometimes if it was like on the lower levels here and the zombies came, I'd let them go by. And for those of you who have never played this game before and have no idea what it's about, you're basically defending your property, which is your house, and yourself from zombies, and you're using all plants that do different things to take out the zombies so that they can't reach you and eat your brains. That is literally what happens, and it's kind of funny when it does. Because it actually says, zombies ate your brains. But, so yeah, you have lawnmowers, and you only have 1 lawnmower per row. For the pool, you have these, I don't know, pool cleaners, and you use those as a last resort. So like if the zombies get through you, they'll hit that and it'll clear the whole row, giving you an opportunity to rebuild. That is probably like the most tedious thing about this game, is the rebuilding after you've worked so hard to get a good foundation established. And then somebody gets through, they get all the way through all of your plants, and then you have to rebuild everything. And that is definitely not something that I like having to deal with. So I'm just going to put this, okay, so he was coming through anyways. And then I'm going to establish 1 row of corn. Now, the one thing about the endless feature is normally when it comes to secondary items, which is in this case, like the dandelion, or excuse me, the sunflowers, they go up with every price. Every time that you use one, it goes up in price. So let me also tell you, so the way that you gain the ability to plant things is by collecting sunshine, is what they call it. And that's these little glowing balls here. And up in the top left corner, that shows you how much you have, and then every plant has a sunshine counter for how much they need to be planted. So with these, as you can see right now, I have a double sunflower, which is going to give me more sunshine points, and it'll help me to build up plants and all that kind of stuff, and and plant more things faster. But what I'm trying to get to is the fact that normally it is, I believe, like 225 or 250, and for the endless game it keeps going up in price. So I think it goes up like 50 sunshine points every time you use it. So I'm getting to a situation here because I need to make sure that this guy in the pool doesn't get any closer, and I need this tall nut to hurry up and there. Okay. So kind of all over the place right now. I mean, this bothers me that it's not all in one line, but I mean, I am talking while I'm doing this, so my thoughts are all over the place. But yeah, so I'm just basically going to keep collecting sunshine and keep planting plants. These ones should be okay. Okay, I am going to put this one here because if they do, the zombies get through. See, what I initially wanted to do was get 3 rows of corn and then put the pea shooters next up. So let me get this going. Okay, so obviously you can tell that some of them have had traffic cones on their heads, the zombies, I mean. And this guy right here has a bucket on his head, and it basically is like their means of armor. And the buckets are a lot harder to get through. That's why I'm putting as many things in front of this one so that they can get rid of it a little bit quicker. Just letting my sunshine points build up a little bit before getting too far ahead of myself. So I'm gonna place another one here. This is endless, so they throw a lot more at you quicker than they do in a standard game. So I need another tall nut. And see, this is what I'm talking about. That butter is a great asset to have in this game. Okay, so we should be good now. If I really wanted to, I'm gonna wait until the tall nut reloads, because that's another thing is, as you can see, if you look up at the tall nut little illustration that's up there, there is a time that you have to wait before you can use it again, and that does get difficult, but it gives you a little bit of a challenge when playing this game, and doesn't make it super easy, which, who wants anything to be done easily? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want everything to be easy. So, okay, I'm gonna put some pea shooters here. And now, you see, as I'm doing this, I'm trying to think, how could I possibly get a good setup to plant those marigolds and not take too much damage while doing so. So that is the difficulty. And as you can see, the cattails, I think, went up by 25. Normally they stay the same, but like anything that you reuse that I think has a pink background, which is like a secondary, that is gonna keep constantly going up in price. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, get rid of this. Okay, should be safe. And yeah, they do drop coins every now and then, so you gotta make sure that you're picking those up. Now, I did have the, what do they call them? The firewoods? Or the tree stumps with the fire. And I wanted to put those somewhere, but I usually put those behind the tall nuts as a means to also protect the tree stumps as well. Okay, so now it gives you an opportunity to switch up anything that needs to be switched up. My gosh. And a lot of the times you always forget about what you put down or what you want to try to establish. So now, the other thing about the corn is when you have the corn where you want it, you can then opt for a cob cannon, which is basically like your, obviously it's a cannon. So you can plant those in the space of 2, they call them kernel pults, or which is there's like the standard corn on the cobs that you're seeing right now. And you can fire cannons basically, or corn on the cob, which is the same thing as a cannonball. And it'll help you greatly with crowd control. But it takes a lot. It takes 500 sunflower, and it goes up every time because you are in the endless. So that's going to take up a lot of sunshine. You want to make sure that you're fully established before you do that. So do I want to use that yet? The other thing is, where in the heck can I put these marigolds? So that because basically the idea of what I want is I want to put a good group of marigolds somewhere on the lawn, and I just want to leave them there so that while I'm defending the house, I'm also building up money, because obviously I want to get to that 80 grand so that I can get that 10 slot feature, and then I'll be done. That's my goal. So I'm been trying to like rack my brain on how I can possibly do that. There's just so many factors. And I honestly think that the pool is a huge disadvantage for trying to do that. Because I think the zombies actually swim faster than they walk, and for some reason they eat faster too. Because like, if there's several zombies in the pool opposed to them being on the lawn, they just go through those walnuts so quick, and it's so much harder to rebuild and refortify what you're doing in the pool than it is on the lawn, because it's not just a simple planting method. You have to put lily pads down and then plant. Look at that one walnut. That's so funny, dude. He's just like squinting. He's like, come on, dude, get it on with. So I think, what is this? This is only like the second go. So I'm just going to leave everything the way I need it. So the only thing that I need is one more twin sunflower, and then everything else I'm going to probably leave the way it was. So corn, yes. I might get some watermelons in there. I don't know if I want to stick with the pea shooters. I don't know if I want to stick with the fire. Because if I do the fire, then I basically lose a row. And the other thing that happens is, so there's only 3 rows, as you can see, for the zombies to get to before they get to the walnut row. And the thing that happens is, this is so funny just talking about it so seriously. There are disco zombies that come, and they make 4 other zombies emerge from the ground when they're on the field. And it becomes problematic because if you're too close, then those zombies are going to basically be like right on the walnut or past them, and that could be a problem. So leaving that 3 space gap is ideal, so you're really not working with too much space in terms of establishing a good, defense. But let's just continue what we were doing, and we will see about where we can go from there. I don't know, dude. I am very, very much scattered in my ideas and what to do. So I'm gonna get these. I guess I can get the ice watermelon. Basically, the ice watermelon freezes or slows down the zombies when they get struck by them. The spike rock is an amped up version of the spike weed, which is a little bit more fortified and can't be destroyed. And I was totally neglecting the lily pads. I'm just going to have those just to have them. And the cattails. That should be good. So I'm just going to, for this first couple rows... Oh, let me establish this first off. And then I'm basically just going to be maintaining and building up my sunflower points. Oh, okay, so while I'm doing that, I am going to plant some of these spike weeds, because they do damage as they're walking, and it's a pretty good asset to have. And they only use 100, so it's not too much. And it is a very concentrated, focused game, because as you can see, there's coins that pop up, and you want the coins. Obviously, I want the coins, and you also want the sunflower sun rays and all that stuff that are being dropped. So you're constantly paying attention to just about everything in this game, because if you don't collect the coins, they'll disappear. They don't just sit there and wait for you to grab them. And if you don't collect the sun rays, they also disappear. So if you're just sitting here being distracted by everything and thinking that you can just sit back and watch, which you can, if you have like a good fortified defense and you just want to sit back and relax and just see how everything can play out, you can definitely do that. But if you're still building, you want to collect the sun rays. And if you're maybe having a goal that you're trying to build up to with the coins, then you're definitely going to want to make sure you're collecting those too. So in those cases, you basically cannot just sit there and relax and watch. Now, there's also metal items. As I already established, there's the helmets that they wear,
that are like the buckets, the street cones, and as you saw, they hold things like screen doors and garbage cans, and these are all things just to make it harder for us as the human trying to survive to take them out, because they basically have like a metal item in front of them. Now, the benefit of the metal items is there are magnet plants, and you can put the magnet plants on the field and it'll basically steal the metal object, no matter what it is, away from it. Because there's like digger zombies that will dig all the way back and start attacking you from behind, and those are really hard to deal with when you're trying to like focus on so many things going on. And so like the magnet would steal the pickaxe from them so that they couldn't do any digging. Same thing with the screen doors, the trash cans, the metal buckets, and I think it might also steal the javelin, because there's zombies that actually pole vault over the obstacles, like whatever obstacles in front of them, it'll actually pole vault over it, and it'll make them that much closer. But they can only do it once, and I think that the magnet plants will actually take the javelins away from them, if I'm correct. And obviously, one thing about like the console, because I have a lot of stuff going on right now, you'll see the game kind of get laggy, which is like when it slows down a bit, because there's a lot of stuff going on the field. So it does happen from time to time. We are almost done with this. I'm gonna refortify that walnut. So basically, with the walnuts, you know that it's almost done when it starts tearing up or crying. And the benefit to having a particular upgrade that I have is I can plant a walnut on top of an already existing walnut. Otherwise, if I didn't have this upgrade, I'd have to dig up the plant and then replant it. So we are about to go into the next spot, but I feel like I want to show you a little something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on continuing this endless,
and then we're going to go into, just so I can showcase basically what I am having like an idea of what I want to do. And let's see, I feel like the survival day hard I should be able to do it here. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the corn. I usually always do, and I already explained why. So we're gonna do this with the sunflowers. See how it says 150 in a real game? Oh, actually no, this is not endless. So yes, it will stay 150 every time that you use it. Only in the endless will it keep going up 50 points. So every time you use it, it'll go to 200, then 250, and then it'll like keep on going the more that you use it, which is a cheap mechanic, but it is something that's definitely good to keep you on your toes. So well done, developers. So what are we gonna need? Corn. And one of the setups that I use, okay, so we need that. The garlic comes into play in this tactic that I'm going to be doing, where I'm planting the marigolds. And I think I also want I don't know what else to put down. And you see, the one thing about my tactic of what I do, is it really takes advantage of the whole field, which leaves me with very little to do otherwise. I am gonna put those down just to say that I have them down. And I don't know. I'll just put a cherry bomb on there. I'm not going to use it, but it's just so that I can continue with the game, because I don't think I need anything else right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you what my usual setup is in terms of collecting gold and getting closer to that 80. Okay, so where's this guy coming? I'm going to let him go by because I want to collect more. And there's no sunflowers in his way, so it should be fine. But basically, I'm taking these garlics and I'm putting them at the ends, and I'm actually going to go further with it, and I'm going to put it here. Now, we have to establish a foundation, and I'm going to put this corn right here. And then basically, we're only defending 2 lines. But when we do this, it's going to take a lot more attention and focus, because we have to make sure that we are maintaining the garlic, because they'll eat the garlic and then start getting into those lanes. And basically, if you haven't figured it out, we are going to be planting marigolds in the lines of everything else, and that's how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna wait for one more, and then hopefully 2 corn should be okay. Yeah, so we already got street cones coming in, but I'm hoping that'll be enough, because they are hitting them with some butter. Alright, so I got 3 sunflowers. That should be enough. I'm going to plant 1 marigold just so I can get things going. The other thing that I have to pay attention to is the javelin ones can jump over the garlic. So we're basically planting 2 back to back for the garlics in the rows when we're using them, just in case they jump over one. They're going to get hit with the second one, and then they'll change lanes. See, just like that one did. So he didn't like the taste of the garlic, so he switched lanes. Okay. And the idea is to get these twin sunflowers established as early as possible. Okay, so we're going to keep planting those. And I'm going to put this down. I feel like I'm going to have to put a walnut down soon. So if this one can build... Okay, I'm going to put it right here. And then basically I'll have 4 corns in a row. And hopefully that'll be enough to fend off everything that we need to be fending off. And I'm leaving little gaps in between the marigolds because I'm going to be putting magnets there that will collect the gold and the silver that is dropped by them for me. Okay, so we got another sunflower twin that we can plant. So I'm going to do that. Doing pretty good so far. Okay. I'll put it like that. And I don't really know how far the radius is of the magnets, so I'm just factoring in for anything at this point. I will put this here. And then I'll put this here. And then I will put one last corn right there, and then we should be good. I'm just going to focus on building up these marigolds. And while, see, the marigolds have a long duration before I can plant another one too. Okay, so we're on our third twin sunflower. Almost full for the marigold. So we should be good. Oh, we got a bucket head already. Okay. I want to make sure that I'm following my diagram. Looking all over the field. What's gonna come first? Yep, these first. Like there. That. Okay, so I've got to make sure that I'm looking at my garlic too, because I don't want that to get taken out, and I got to pay attention to my walnuts as well. I feel like, ooh, okay, so the marigold is actually going faster than the twin sunflowers at this point. Okay, so we got that. Doing pretty good. We're already at 65,000. Oh, okay, and we're finally done with our last. So now that's two things that we don't need on the field now in terms of our cards that we have at the top for the next go around with our zombies here. Okay, we'll plant that marigold there. So yeah, this is still only the first batch of zombies that we're going against. I can't remember. I know it goes according to flags, and the flags are basically on that little mini diagram down there in the bottom right. As you can see, like there's that green bar, and that's the zombies coming after you. And there's one flag that we just completed, and it says one flag completed. Once it gets to the next one, it'll go obviously into two. So I'm going to put that there now. Oh, can plant another marigold. Missed that. Okay, so that guy's already tearing up, so I'm gonna rebuild him up. And then on the next go around, I'll start building up the spike weeds. Okay, so that is our last marigold that we're planting. Next up for the next section, oh no, there's going to be another one. So let's just start building these now, because it'll do more damage to the zombies, and we'll get through this level a little bit quicker. Excuse me, I don't even know what I said. So now this is where we're going to have to pay attention to the garlic. And you see how I'm like moving my cursor around constantly just to collect these golds and silver coins. That's where the magnets are going to greatly become a big asset for me. because they're going to basically collect all that, and I don't have to maintain it or worry about them disappearing because I'm too busy watching other things. Cool. So that has been established. Now we're going to get our magnets out. And pogo sticks are a bit of an issue. So I think I'm going to do regular magnets on each side. Okay, so I got to plant another garlic magnets. Okay, so let's see. We're going to use the corns just as insurance, just in case like they do get by. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, but you know, we can't control everything. Then we'll do the garlic maintenance. Walnuts. We're going to do an additional level of defense with the pumpkin. And oh, they even got like the dudes with the ladders. Okay, so alright, so I might have to use more regular magnets than I want to in this go around. Then we're going to plant these, and those are going to stay the same because, yep, we're good with the marigolds for now, unless they eat them, and then in which case I have to replant them. Now, what needs to be done? Okay, so the magnets are actually nighttime plants. So as you can see, there's mushrooms and stuff. So like there's shrooms and all these other like mushroom themed plants in our inventory. And these have to be wakened up when you're using them at daytime. So basically what we have to do is we're going to grab the magnet, the gold magnet, and then we need the coffee bean to wake them up. Yeah, there's something else that I can use. I really don't think... I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I guess I'll just, as it like insurance, use it. Have a cherry bomb waiting. Hopefully that'll be enough. Okay, so first up is reestablishing the second thing of garlic. Now we're going to plant these magnets here. I'm going to use the coffee beans on them later. Another magnet. So the only ones that I'm going to have to collect are going to be these first ones. It's the back two that it's basically going to collect for me. So let's get that wicking up. Woken up. Oh, see? They ate some of the garlic. So we're still good because we made two. But we gotta make sure that we're keeping a close eye on that. Waiting for this last one to refill so that I can grab it. Okay, good. So we're back up. Everything's good. All the magnets are woken. And then we're going to plant the gold magnets in the back. I'm still gonna instinct. Well, I mean, because I have to collect sun rays still. So, okay. So here these guys come. Good. That could have been bad. Make sure I change out that. Uh-oh, another magnet. Get it. Just made it. Okay, so these garlics are starting to get chewed up pretty good. Wow. This poor walnut needs to be taken care of. Okay, pogo sticks coming through. Good. Magnets are holding up real nicely. Put pumpkin on him. There you go. Good. Doing good so far. Oh crap, this guy got through. Ah! Uh-oh. That was poopy. You see that, guys? So that's why you gotta... That was a pogo stick guy that got through and I didn't even pay attention. So now I don't have any marigolds, but what I can do is I can do this. That'll at least blow those guys up. I guess I'll plant another magnet. I'm pretty sure there's 10 flags that you have to go through. Oh, great. Now the ogres are coming. Honestly, it's all going to be the same thing. But I think this is a good place to stop. We have been doing this for almost an hour now. So I am going to stop right here, and we can always come back to this, just like we can come back to the Endless and go on that. So thank you so much for joining me on this Plants vs. Zombies introduction episode. And yes, this is a great way to stimulate your senses and definitely get your focus going. So I love playing this game, as I've said numerous times. So thank you so much for joining me on my focus-inducing pay attention challenge, which is kind of like every time you play the game, you're constantly giving yourself a mini challenge. But there are other features of this game that we can dip into, and I'll be more than happy to, and I've kind of been waiting to share them with you guys. So until next time, I will be here. I hope you will too, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.